So Job, chapter 38 to chapter 42. The Lord answered Job out of the whirlwind. Who is this who darkens counsel? Who speaks without knowledge? Gird your loins like a man. I will ask. You will answer me. Where were you when I laid the earth's foundations? Speak if you have understanding. Do you know who fixed the earth's dimensions? Do you know who measured it with a line? Do you know the foundations of its footings? Who set its cornerstone when the morning stars sang together and the heavenly beings shouted for joy? Do you know who closed the sea behind doors when it gushed forth out of the womb, when I clothed it in the clouds, when I swaddled it in dense clouds, when I prescribed limits for it, set bars and doors, and declared to the sea, you will go no further. Here, your surging waves will stop. Have you ever commanded the day to break? Assigned the dawn to its place, so that it seizes the corners of the earth and shakes the wicked out of it. It changes like clay under the seal till its hues are fixed like those of a garment. Their light is withheld from the wicked. The upraised arm is broken. Have you penetrated to the springs of the sea, or walked in the recesses of the deep? Have the gates of death been revealed to you? Have you seen the gates of deep darkness? Have you surveyed the expanse of the earth? If you know of these, tell me. Which path leads to light's dwelling? Where is the place of darkness that you may take it to its house and know the way to its home? Surely you know. You were born then, and the number of your years is many. Have you penetrated to the storehouses of the snow, seen the vaults of hail which I put aside for times of adversity, for a day of war and battle? Which paths disperse the west wind, scatters the east wind over the earth, the channel for the torrents? Who cut them? And a path for the thunderstorms to rain down on uninhabited land, on the wilderness where no one is, to saturate the desolate wasteland, to make the grass sprout forth? Does the rain have a father? Who begot the dewdrops? From whose belly came forth the ice? Who gave birth to the frost of heaven? Water congeals like stone, and the surface of the deep compacts. Can you untie the cords of the stars? Undo the reins of Orion? Can you lead Pleiades in its season? Conduct the bear with her sons? Do you know the laws of heaven, or impose its authority on the earth? Can you send up an order to the clouds for an abundance of water to cover you? Can you dispatch the lightning on a mission and have it answer you, here I am? Who put wisdom in the hidden parts? Who gave understanding to the mind? Who is wise enough to give an account of the heavens? Who can pour water from the sky, whereupon the dust runs into a mass and the mud clumps together? Can you hunt prey for the lion? Satisfy the appetite of the king of beasts? The lions crouch in their dens, lying ambush in their lairs. Who provides food for the raven when his young cry out to God and wander without food? Do you know the season when the mountain goats give birth? Can you mark the time when the deer calf? Can you count the months they must complete? Do you know the season they give birth, when they crouch to bring forth their offspring, to deliver their young? Their young are healthy. They grow up in the open. They leave and return no more. Who sets the wild donkey free? Who loosens the bonds of the swift ass? Whose home have I made in the wilderness, the salt land, his dwelling place? He laughs at the tumult of the city, does not hear the shouts of the driver, roams the hills for his pasture, searching for any green thing. Would the wild ox agree to serve you? Would it spend the night in your stall? Can you hold the wild ox by ropes in the furrow? Will he plow up the valleys behind you? Would you rely on his great strength and leave your toil to him? Would you trust him to bring in the seed, to gather it in from your threshing floor? The wing of the ostrich beats joyously. Are her feathers and plumage like a stork's? She leaves her eggs on the ground, letting them warm in the dirt, forgetting that they might be crushed underfoot or trampled by a wild beast. Her young are cruelly abandoned, as if they were not hers. Her labor is in vain for lack of concern, for God deprived her of wisdom, gave her no share in understanding. Else she would soar on high, laughing at the horse and the rider. Do you give the horse its strength? Do you clothe his neck with a mane? Do you make him leap like the locust, his majestic snorting, bringing terror? He paws with force, he runs with vigor, charging into battle. He laughs at fear. He cannot be frightened, does not recoil from the sword. A quiver full of arrows whizzes by him, the flashing spear, the javelin. He swallows the land, trembling with excitement, turning not aside when the trumpet sounds, saying, "Aha!" as the trumpet blasts, smelling the battle from afar, the roaring and the shouting of the officers. Is it by your wisdom the hawk soars, spreading its wings to the south? Does the eagle rise at your command, building his nest high, dwelling in the rock, lodging in the rocky crag? From up high he spies his food, from afar he sees it. His young gulp blood where the slain are, there is he. And the Lord said to Job, shall a fault finder contend with the Almighty? Who brings God to court must respond. And Job responded to the Lord, see, I am of small worth. What can I answer you? I clap my hand to my mouth. I have spoken once. I will not reply. Twice, and will do so no more. Then again, the Lord answered Job out of the whirlwind. Gird up your loins like a man. I will ask, and you will answer me. Will you tell me I am wrong? condemn me to prove your righteousness? Have you an arm like mine, a voice thundering like God? Deck yourself out with majesty and dignity. Clothe yourself in glory and splendor. Pour out the outflowings of your anger. Look upon all who are proud and humble them. Bring them down where they stand. Bury them all in the earth. Hide their faces in obscurity. Then, even I will praise you, for then your right arm will give you victory. Take now Behemoth, the hippopotamus, whom I made as I did make you. He eats grass like the cattle. His strength is in his loins, his might in the muscles of his belly. He makes his tail stand up like a cedar. The sinews of his thighs are knit together. His bones are tubes of bronze, his limbs like iron rods. He is the first of God's works. Only his maker can draw a sword against him. The mountains yield him produce where all the beasts of the field play. He lies down beneath the lotuses in the cover of the swamp reeds. The lotuses cover him with shade. The willows of the brook surround him. He can restrain the river from its rushing. He is confident the stream will gush at his command. Can he be taken by his eyes? Can his nose be pierced with a hook? Can you draw out the Leviathan, the crocodile, by a fish hook? Can you press down his tongue by a rope? Can you put a ring through his nose or pierce his jaw with a barb? Will he plead with you at length? Will he speak soft words to you? Will he make an agreement with you to be taken as your lifelong slave? Will you play with him like a bird, lead him on a leash for your girls? Shall traders traffic in him? Will he be divided among merchants? Can you fill his skin with harpoons or his head with fish spears? Lay a hand on him and you will never think of battle again. Any hope of capturing the beast must be disappointed. Were not even the gods prostrated by the very sight of him? There is no one so fierce as to rouse him. Who then can stand up to me? Whoever confronts me, I will avenge. Everything under the heavens is mine. Now about Leviathan, the crocodile. I will not be silent. I will praise his mighty strength. Who can strip off its outer garment? Who can penetrate the folds of its jowls? Who can pry open the doors of his face? His barbed teeth strike terror. His protective scales are his pride. Locked with a binding seal, one scale touches the other. Not even a breath can enter between them. Each clings to each. Interlocked, they cannot be parted. He sneezes and lightning flashes. His eyes glimmer as the dawn. Firebrands stream from his mouth. Fiery sparks escape. Smoke comes out of his nostrils as from a steaming, boiling cauldron. His breath ignites coals. Flames blaze from his mouth. Strength resides in his neck. Power leaps before him. The layers of his flesh stick together. Cast hard, he does not totter. His heart cast hard as stone, hard as a lower millstone. the divine being shake in dread as he rears up. As he crashes down, they cringe. No sword that overtakes him can prevail, nor spear, nor missile, nor lance. He regards iron as straw, bronze as rotted wood. No arrow can put him to flight. Sling stones turn into stubble, clubs become straw. He laughs at the quivering javelin. His underpart is jagged shards. It spreads as a pallet in the mud. He makes the depths seethe like a cauldron. He makes the seas boil like an ointment path. His wake is a luminous path, turning the deep into foam. There is no one on land who can dominate him. Made as he is without fear, he sees all that is haughty. He is king over the proud beasts. And Job responded to the Lord. I know that you can do everything. Nothing you propose is impossible for you. Who is this who obscures counsel without knowledge? Indeed, I spoke without understanding of things beyond me, which I did not know, but hear now, and I will speak. I will ask, and you will answer me. I have heard you with my ears. Now I see you with my eyes. Therefore, I recant and relent, being but dust and ashes.